sellouts, Lehman Brothers, Goldman Sachs, false flag, terror attacks, Bill Gates, Henry Kissinger, New World Order, mind control, Bank of America stealing homes with cut and paste mortgage loans, police, state, taser guns, FEMA camps, man to run, Monsanto rules the food supply while Big Pharma dopes your mind, prison system, puppeteers, foundations, fund the fears, fund the evil through the years, the world's not as it appears. CIA smuggles drugs while Wachovia and Wells Fargo launder them, then give the proceeds to the owners of the Federal Reserve Bank. Now the IRS takes money out of every single check. Money created out of thin air and leave you with debt. They want to make you a serf, a slave to their demand. They want to take your life in every way they can. Fluoride, GMO, vaccines, chemtrails, United Nations genocide. The world they show us is not real. This is how they kill and steal. Rothschild, Bundy, Rockefeller, Club of Rome. On the Georgia guys, songs is written in stone. Cut through the matrix, awaken to the lies. Do not be hypnotized. We are one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Howard.
Yes, Randy Simmons.
How you doing, man?
Dr. Carpenter. How are you? What were you guys watching? Oh, I'm glad that you were tuned in. Cool.
Yeah. How you doing tonight?
I'm doing pretty good. It's just interesting that you called in exactly when I started. I sort of was just mentioning about going into COINTELPRO and God. That's what we're talking about, isn't it? I mean,
COINTELPRO and God. That's a very
COINTELPRO and God.
That's a good topic right there, man. Yeah. I didn't know. Were you aware that that our friend paid you a little visit tonight on your page?
No, I'm broadcasting. I can't. I mean, I was just.
Oh, you can't see the chat board?
No, I'm not on there. I broadcast. There's several different sites that we go through, and I just look. I see that here, and I see just the feed. In fact, that's why everyone on the rebroadcast or anyone watching, when you see me looking down, the reason I'm looking down is because I'm trying to make sure the feed is proper. Because I don't know. I can't see a chat. I can't engage in chat. None of that.
Oh.
So
Too bad.
So who's it? You mean are you talking about the crazy bitch?
Man, forgive me. I gotta laugh about something. It's been a bad way. I gotta find something to laugh about. Yeah, it's Michelle.
How nice.
She's on your
What
page.
is she talking about? My hair again? She insulted my hair and told me that I needed a bath and said her name was No. It must have been her. I mean, come on.
What? And I missed that one.
Oh yeah,
it's on
it's on the YouTube Freedom First page, Freedom First Films page. You go to yesterday's broadcast regarding the Hollywood glamorization of violence, and then of course the government clamping down on guns. But meanwhile, let's promulgate violence in Hollywood and everywhere else, and that's okay. Just like I demonstrated in the film tonight it's all about money, and it's all about corporatism, and it's all about getting people's emotions involved. And I thought it was a great broadcast, and I'm really happy about it. Next week, I plan on...
I was particularly fond of Night Before Last. I was particularly fond of 5 particular minutes out of Night Before Last broadcast.
Oh, really? Yeah. I certainly... Well, listen. Again, and tonight I gave an appeal out to Barbara tonight. Barbara's in a very bad way. I'll give another appeal out to her.
And she definitely is, because I've been in contact with her too, and this is no lie. She's in a bad situation right now, and that was one of the things that Michelle came onto your page to talk about. You see, she said, I really believe that you're genuinely concerned about Barbara, and I wish her the best.
Really?
But Yeah, that's what she said. And then she says, but you don't seem to be as concerned. You don't seem to be as concerned about the truth when it comes to Ms. Carpenter.
Well, okay. Forget about what she said. Listen, I'm going to address this since you're on the air now. I'm going to address this, okay? Here's the situation, okay? Michelle Wolven has been dying to get on the air and talk. And please, you're not listening to the truth. You know, you're not going to hear my side. If I don't hear your side, it's not the truth. Well, that's her position. Now, my position is this. I have researched the truth.
Her side has been all over the... Her side is
I don't
wall
give a
to wall
fuck about her
across the
side.
internet.
And listen, everybody out there, again, the COINTELPRO people, oh, he uses profanity, and we're gonna block that video because he says fuck. Well, fuck you, okay? So, back to this is, like, I say whatever I want. I am not there is no agenda. I've been on record here. People have been watching this show. It's growing. I got 5,000 views a month on YouTube. People don't like that. Too fucking bad, okay? Because my people that watch, and the people that are watching, they're not my people. The people that are watching the show, they're getting the information, and they're sharing the information. That's the key. TruthBroadcastNetwork.com.
I'd like to point out something. When it comes to her, you are talking about what has been happening to us and our story and what really happened with evidence. But she said that's not correct because you have to hear her woven side of the story.
The woven lie. The woven, and her name is perfect.
What about the
Dr. Carpenter, it's perfect. Her name is Woven because she is weaving a web to deceive, a lie. Her name is perfectly suited to her.
Yeah, she's a wolf in sheep's clothing.
Yes, again as well. And it's terrible because, listen, Michelle, I tell you this. And again, you gave a courtesy there to Barbara, and thank you for that. Because I'm not here to attack you, Barbara. Michelle. I'm not here to attack you. I don't want to fight with you. This gets away from what I try to do. But what you're doing, now, either two things are happening. You believe in Big Pharma and the FDA and chemotherapy as the cure for cancer.
No, she doesn't.
No. I have to make my statement. Let me make my statement for the record. This is my statement because she's been attacking me for weeks now because I'm supporting you, and I'm going to tell her why. Because I'll tell you this, Michelle, whether you believe in chemotherapy and you believe that it cures cancer, okay, and you want to maybe, like, you know, take the position because what you know really happened, and we all know what really happened. I don't need you to show me pictures. I've seen the pictures, okay? I don't need you to show me anything. I do my research. I am not a journalist. I'm a researcher. You said you're not a journalist. You're right. I'm a researcher. That's a step above a journalist because I'm not in this for the money. There's no money here. There's no agenda. I know cancer is a fraud, okay? Everyone's getting cancer. And there's a reason, and I know the reason, and I know why it's happening, how it's happening, who it's happening to, and how it's happening to them. And I also know that not only Dr. Carpenter's cures, but there are other cures with using marijuana. Marijuana stops the growth of cancer. Does anybody talk about that? No. Do I talk about it? Not too much. Maybe I should start. But I'm just saying, I talk about truth. I don't defend a lie.
I've told Dr. Carpenter months ago on the Saturday show that, you know what, if people could smoke laser beams and get high, that you'd be as popular as Rick Simpson. You know, well, and I believe in legalization. I don't know about the research about the killing cancer, but
that's questionable.
It's not harmful. That's the thing. It's not harmful.
Right.
Whatever it does, it's not harmful.
It doesn't cause cancer. In fact, in research that I've seen, again, you know, listen, I'm all for legalization of marijuana. I think I'm all for legalization of everything. Why don't you legalize heroin? Stop all this crime. Holy Christ! If you want to destroy your life, there should be a place you can go and do it. Holy Christ! These people are like, it's all about control.
Rope isn't illegal.
But the thing is that
tie a rope around a tree and hang yourself anytime you want.
But what I am saying is people that want to use what they call illegal drugs, they are stopped because now they can.
The government brings the drugs in, doctor. The government sells the drugs to the people, and then the low-level people get busted that they set up. It's a ridiculous. It's like everything else.
It's a racket.
It's a racket. It's a Ponzi scheme. The whole thing. And it's good. And then we get attacked for exposing it. Everything.
Yes.
The medical
and then
mafia.
They go and push chemo and morphine and all of this garbage on patients.
Exactly.
Yeah.
No, do it. Rant. I'm ranting. I'm angry. I'm angry because we're being attacked by people that really don't understand what's going on. Now listen, Michelle, if you're being paid to do this, then that makes you even more evil and wicked. But if you,
she is.
Oh no, okay, I'm sure she is. Okay. If this is your goal and this is what you want to do and attack people that are actually trying to just give Americans the free right to have a choice. Dr. Carpenter, how many patients have you treated that had successful results from your treatment? I mean,
everybody has successful results as long as they start to the program. The
ones that got chemo got sick, right? Isn't that the truth?
Yeah, the one that got sick is because they didn't understand the healing process. They started doubting what I did, and they ran for big pharma treatment, and that's why they died and were hurt.
And Michelle Wolven has gotten a lot of well, okay, I don't know about a lot, but I know she's gotten a few ex-Dr. Carpenter patients.
Not a lot, just a few.
To doubt and then go back for testing that we know what it's going to be before they even go. We know what the pharma doctors are going to say because they know what they have to do.
They did the wrong testing to prove their point, which is wrong, and then that's their excuse to pump you with the drugs. And the disgusting thing about that is those people go for those drugs because they want to get well, and instead they're lied to, and they get hurt, and then eventually die from the drugs they took because they thought they could get better. Well, that's a crime.
It sure is, and let me tell you something else. And I have people at my place of employment where some COINTELPRO ninnies had tried to get me fired. It's hysterical. But anyway, because they didn't realize that my boss is a patriot, right? That's hysterical, but I mean that just shows you how goodness that the universe, like Martin Luther King said, the universe bends towards good, towards righteousness and truth, and that's true. And it will rise, and truth will rise, the people will rise. But my point that I want to make here, it's very important, is that what's happening here with you is a perfect example. It's not just you. Right now, how many other doctors are being called quacks because the medical mafia can't make money on it? So at Yale University, right now, as we're speaking, scientists are working on a molecule gel that they can patent, Dr. Carpenter, which uses your theory with the lasers. But instead of it being using food coloring, which is, by the way, a green food coloring, which is non-toxic and you can drink it, and saline, they want to make this topical thing that they're going to say will be activated by the laser. Stick on that for a little bit.
Which is a bunch of malarkey. Nothing is activated. What happened is not activated. It's not a chemical reaction. Even the benzoporphyrin, which is a drug, doctor has said, it's a chemical reaction. It's a physical reaction, and definitely with food coloring, it's a physical reaction. It's not a chemical reaction. The tumor only absorbs the light, develops enough heat to kill the cell, and that's the end of it. That is physics. That is basic physics. It's not physiology.
And according to the FDA application for warrant,
physics is not. Well, wait a minute. Physics has nothing to do with medicine.
Oh, well, no, really, has nothing to do with medicine, and so medicine is not part of this planet.
Right.
Physics explains the
laws
of the universe.
I'm not trying. I'm making a point, Doctor.
Yeah. What these people, these trolls are saying, physics is not medicine, really. It's still part of this planet. You cannot violate the law of physics.
No. My point is that physics is involved in medicine. Physics is involved in medicine. My God.
It is. You cannot deny the law of physics in medicine just because it's medicine. They're so full of themselves when they they're just trying to cover up and to maintain their control.
Well, what's very important, Dr. Carpenter, for those watching, and I'm sure they're like sort of stunned by this, that we sort of took a left direction here. I'm sure we still got a lot of viewers, although I don't know. Why don't you explain what this does, okay? What it does. In other words, for example, your treatment, how it works, and give the details, and then we can analyze how they're attacking it, how it's discrediting, and they're obviously lying. And then we can give some of the testimony and dispute some of the stuff that they've put out there in a 32-page report or whatever it is, right? So
yeah, let's 27, I think.
Whatever. Let's go to that.
It's a lot.
Speak on the. In other words, if I was like everybody's like Denzel Washington. If I was a 2-year-old, like in Philadelphia, if I was a 2-year-old, explain to me how this works.
Okay. What I was saying was this started accidentally many years ago, 28 years ago. It started purely accidentally because we were trying to develop a weapon with this new semiconductor laser that had just come out.
Also, doctor, state that you worked for the military-industrial complex. You have you got to give a little bit of backstory so they understand how, and it makes even more sense. So please, bring it, because I've researched this. Michelle Logan, you bitch. I've researched you, I've researched Dr. Carpenter, and I've made my decision. And fuck you, bitch. Go ahead, Dr. Carpenter.
Okay, I was head reliability, a senior scientist to study the approval of new component in the new system. And this was under a NASA contract for the Venus Radar Mapper and another NASA contract, a different one. It was a secret project. So the new semiconductor laser that had just come out of the fantastic company in California, and then that company was sold, and now they're making it in China. They ruined everything. But this is semiconductor laser, really small, and they still put out laser light. And I was at the center of having to approve this for the Venus Radar Mapper. So what happened? They messed up. They ordered the new component. It's extremely expensive. They didn't listen to my advice, and they burned them up. They wasted $250,000 in their mistakes. But anyway, so they had ordered more. But I got exposed to this component, and I was married to a guy that had the fixation of weapons, and he was pushing me into this, which I didn't really want to do. And we came up with the idea of a new method, a new cannon that could be laser cannon that could be mounted anywhere, on a truck, on an airplane, whatever. And we were trying to be on low budget, but try to assemble the prototype. And when we were trying to raise funds for that, we got a meeting, and some people were dead set on attacking us, and they said, well, weapons are evil. Why are you doing this? That hurts humanity. And, that's really questionable. But anyway, that's what they were saying. So they said, why don't you do something useful for humanity? Why do not do something with these lasers for cancer? And we said, that's ridiculous, because this light does absolutely nothing, is not absorbing a significant amount by the body, especially such low power emitted that this new semiconductor laser, so it's ridiculous. You can't do anything for medicine. And the meeting led to nothing. We went home and kept reacting, and then by saying, it's impossible, you have no reaction, because the laser does nothing to tissue. A slow power laser is a wavelength that is not absorbing a significant amount by the body, so it does nothing. So what we said, we can't do anything about cancer. And then of course, what happens in life, there came the word unless. And out of that unless you use something that absorbs the light into the tumor. And that's where all of this came. But how do you do it? You change basically the color of the tumor, but how do you do it without altering, without damaging the body? And we found some research that were dancing around or something similar, photodynamic therapy, but they thought was a chemical reaction. It was a mess. It was run by doctors. They had no idea what they were doing. And so we looked into it and the different compounds available. Then I decided this is nonsense. We can't use this, and that's how the food coloring came to life, okay? And the the food coloring, the saline solution is water-based. It's only a color, water-based color. It does absolutely nothing because you use food coloring in food. That's what's used, approved by FDA. If you use it in food, it's no longer a drug. Nothing that is in the food field can be considered a drug. This is by definition. In a medical dictionary, you can find it. British Medical Dictionary, I think it's called.
That's it. Keep going. This is wonderful. You see, what you're doing right now is justifying, proving, and solidifying what we all already know, and everyone's calling us, all these shills, these trolls. Listen to this, ladies and gentlemen. This is truth. Keep going, doctor. I don't want to interrupt you.
That's fine. Okay, and the reason is, if you inject the saline, the food coloring combination into normal tissue, it doesn't do anything. It's dissipated immediately. It's non-toxic. It's water. It's dissipated immediately. You do not see any concentration of it. It goes through your body immediately and gets eliminated. So the only effect is you have colored urine. But it is pretty quick. But if you inject it into the tumor uses all its energy to growing. The growth is the main factor, so everything else in the tumor is slowed down. Any metabolic activity are slowed down with that elimination of waste material. So it keeps the saline solution combination with food coloring longer than healthy tissue. Healthy tissue eliminates it immediately. The tumor will keep it there for a while, a few hours. So if you use the light, illuminate the area, does nothing to your body, nothing at all. Only it's even less than a heat massage because it's very low power. So what it does, it gets absorbed by the tumor. And it heats up the tumor to a point that it's deadly to human tissue, but only the tumor. And then the tumor dies in place. The stain is eventually eliminated even from the tumor if it doesn't die immediately. And then that's it. The tumor is dead in place. It is like surgery, but it's not invasive and you're not removing anything. You're just killing the tumor in place. By killing it, it doesn't grow anymore. Is no longer a threat. And because it was killed with heat, it's also sterilized. It's like pasteurizing the tumor. So he's dead and it cannot get infected and it cannot do any damage to the tissue. It becomes like an enormous piece, an amorphous piece of nothing.
Exactly. No. Doctor, what I was going to say is exactly. And again, I just want to reiterate because folks might be listening that aren't aware of why we're putting so much attention on this, and I'm so glad you guys called in tonight, is because the FDA has, basically the FDA Stasi has come in and stated that you are manufacturing a dangerous drug with this saline solution and food coloring. And it's been picked up by the mainstream media, and this is just a disaster.
This is the thing that, and I don't know, Dr. Carpenter probably has something she wants to say about it, because in the report, because first off, when they came in, I wasn't there, but Wendy and Dr. Carpenter were there, and so I got the blow by blow of everything that happened, but. They gave them the paperwork. They gave them the warrant, of course, and they did not give them this 27-page affidavit in support of the search warrant. Basically, this is Agent Bain's dissertation to the judge, saying this is all of the things that we have found out that I feel give me the right to go in and search and seize. We found all of this information. I'm asking you for the right to go in and execute a search warrant and take everything. Well, one of the things, first off, like I said, Dr. Carpenter never got this piece of paperwork. It was our friend Stephen Steed at the Arkansas Leader.
He's not your friend. He's not your friend, Randy.
Well, right. I'm being facetious.
No, you have to clarify. I mean, you and I know that's being facetious, but he is not your friend.
He's Will Bond's friend from
he's Will Bond's friend.
From the Arkansas House of Representatives. He was the press liaison for the Arkansas House of Representatives for 10 years, and he was fired for undisclosed reasons the same year that Will Bond left his post, which he tried to extend by introducing new legislation to extend term limits.
Didn't work.
Okay. That being said, this document was not given to Dr. Carpenter, but it was given to Lori Fulbright at KOTV News on 6 in Tulsa. And she had this, and it instantly went up on her website. And in the introduction of this affidavit in support of search warrant, Agent Bain says, I am currently assigned to an investigation of criminal violations of federal law by Antonella Carpenter, the owner and operator of a retail store known as Lase Med Inc. Retail store. Okay?
Yeah, they call it a retail store. Listen, Randy, do me a favor. Since we're on Skype, send me these links so I could show the people what we speak about so we can prove the truth and we can dispel the lies. Let's do that, and I think that it'll move this in a great direction. It appears that the trolls, that we have actually probably outsmarted them tonight, because it looks like, I guess that hour-long film bored the shit out of Michelle and others that might have been involved, and I think we're okay with that.
And we haven't been cut off either.
And that's why, because we have to be covert, and I'll do this in other ways, because now they'll just say, oh, now they're going to just, they might be on, now they might monitor Truth Talk movies on it, and that's great. Let them watch the films I'll put on, you know, that's great. Because next week, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, and this is true, I only speak truth, and then I'll reveal a covert act. In this case, next week I'm going to reveal a movie called Things to Come, 1936. Incredible film, based on a story or a book by H.G. Wells.
It's like a major war breaking out, right? And the whole population getting mobilized for war.
Constantly.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes. Throughout the ages. Exactly. It's very interesting. It's a great film.
Rings a bell. I think I've seen it.
I'm sure you did. I mean, anybody that's awake or aware of what's going on is going to... And that's why I do this. I don't do this, again, for any possible personal gain. I really have no interest in doing this. I'm a musician. Anyone that knows that can attest the fact that I truly am a musician. And this is just what I do because I have to give back to my community. And not only that, I learned this. How can any human being learn about the New World Order and not tell everybody about it?
And another thing I wanted to say, okay, talking about you're doing this for just because you want to...
Yeah, no, I just have to dispel any potential that I have an agenda. I obviously don't have an agenda.
And I haven't either. The only agenda I have is that I want to get people out of the prison they're in with forced into chemo radiation and mutilation for no reason. And that's and they said, oh, she's charging all this money. Oh, really? I am just charging what I need to stay out.
Listen, all I know is, listen, this is how I intentionally played this film today, ladies and gentlemen. And just to, again, figure out how this whole thing worked. I mean, I'll be honest. We planned this, ladies and gentlemen. This isn't something that was done spontaneously, and I'll admit it now, because of the fact that we are being constantly attacked, our stream being shot, and this information is so important, because yes, I've done the research on this, and the fact of the matter is that...
Look at your streams. Look at how many times we were on, and look how broken up the streams are.
Oh, I have to be covert. I have to be covert to bring you on, guys. It's impossible. I mean, it's impossible. So this way, I mean, maybe, you know, maybe Michelle will stay away from this broadcast and we can get away from it. But she's clearly been assigned to us.
Yeah.
She's been assigned to us because that's clearly what's going on. But I don't want to digress from this. And we can literally, what's beautiful...
I sent you the link to that PDF is in your box.
Thanks. We can talk as long as we need to, and we will. What's most important, as I said just a moment ago, I want to dispel right here, fucking right now, tonight, anybody's answers, concerns, they're going to be dispelled. Any questions, because now we're going to show you how they lie. And I was so enraged, Randy, when I saw these posts. I mean, I can't...
Yeah, in the comments under the news story.
It's unbelievable. And the comments, because they're sheeple. Oh, this person should be killed, you know, and all this other stuff.
And be in the hot spot of hell with a broken nose.
With a broken nose and given chemotherapy so that she can die. What is... I mean...
These people deserve chemotherapy. That's what they deserve.
But can you understand that she's saying that you deserve chemotherapy? Understanding that it kills. You see, that's why I showed this movie again tonight. People are so sick. So sick, Randy and Dr. Carpenter.
They are.
So sick that they will that they know that it kills you, and they'll say, well, you get the chemotherapy, but you're bad. I mean, that's insane. That is absolutely insane.
They're saying I'm keeping people from getting chemo, but then they wish me chemo. Excuse me?
That's what I'm saying. It's insane.
No, actually, okay. I think that must have come out wrong. I was saying, referring to these vicious animals that are out there, roaring and gloating now that the FDA. Thank God that the FDA did what they did.
No, you're right, Randy. I was
saying that these people deserve chemo. That was me saying these people deserve chemo. They deserve to have the horror come into their life and to have to experience what it's really all about.
Let them get it. No, I'm saying no. But there were posts. No, I read them. There were posts. There was at least one post, I'm certain, where exactly that. They said she should get chemo.
Really? I didn't see that one, but okay.
Yeah!
I'm sure it's up there somewhere.
It's there! That she should get chemo. In other words, if that's so bad, she should get it because it's so bad.
Yeah, it's like that old Monty Python skit where poke him with the soft cushion. Oh, it doesn't seem to be hurting him, sir. Yeah.
But what
anyway,
I was saying
I get angry, guys, because I know they're lying so badly. And the FDA, my God.
And get this, because I wasn't about to. Well, actually, I did. I broke a recent rule that I made, and I backlinked the KOTV story just to show on the Facebook page how vicious animals these people turned into. And of course, Michelle came back. Dr. C, your old friend Diana, she came back. The only one I didn't recognize, I don't think Ilya was there, but he may be there by now, who knows. But, everybody coming out of the woodwork, just demonizing. Maybe 2 comments on the whole page saying something about, hey, the FDA approved deadly drugs. Or, nobody's attacking them, nobody's beating their doors down, and they're getting, they have their little thumbs up, thumbs down system on there, and they're getting like 15 thumbs down for somebody saying a bad comment about conventional cancer therapy. And, well, I commented that it was just vicious, especially in the face of what's happened, if they're really Christians and they really are doing what they're doing for the reasons that they say they're doing it, they should be content and shut the hell up. Instead they want to feed this fire and keep it.
Because we're fighting back and we're showing proof of their lies. That's why. And the other thing I want to say, they are talking to you about the situation of Barbara. I'm in the same situation. For what? Trying to help people. And when somebody, like they sign the petition and they make their comment about their experience, what their comment is, I'm the one who says that. How could I do that in the petition? They have the reference of the email. Cannot possibly be.
That's Bob Criscuolo, and he's an idiot. Okay, he can't even spell. All right, and I'll tell you what. His new blog. He is not whoever wrote that intro at the top of his blog, Bob. We know that was not you. I don't know who the hell wrote that for you, but that wasn't you. Okay. Anyway, yeah, this guy is continuing with his tirade about and it's really it's comic relief sideshow crap. It's not even relevant that the people that Barbara Hartwell's blog isn't really being written by her, that it's actually being written by me.
Oh yeah, really? Oh, that's very nice.
And I tell you what, that's one of the reasons that this whole thing upsets me the way it does to hear about what's happening to Barbara, because she has gotten more shit dumped on her since she started supporting and defending Dr. Carpenter.
Not, but
I know. I can just feel it. I know how it was.
Because the same things that are happening to us are happening to her. It's the same situation, identical. She says different motives. I don't think so. And it's the same thing. But going back to how they got the judge to sign the warrant.
I'm sorry. Yeah, we did. I
wanted to shorten it by saying.
Okay.
the main point here is they say that we were a store, and then they claim that we were doing interstate commerce, transporting and selling the drug that we manufacture without having a license for manufacturing. And the laser, we are selling the laser so violating the law of interstate commerce because we do not have a manufacturing facility. When the heck did we ever sell the laser? When the heck did we ever sell the stain? I never even told anybody what it was because I was trying to maintain a certain amount of confidentiality in the corporation, but now they shut everything down. So, okay, that's it. I'm going to throw you in the face. And OxyM, that's what we call the stain. You know what that means? I told you before. It means oxymoron. Because
that's right.
It's an oxymoron that we can use that, and laser light that does absolutely nothing. Both do without themselves, without the other do something, and we cure cancer after the billions have been spent in drugs and nonsense for cancer. We use something that's simple. Now they say, oh, well, you're charging too much. Really? I spent 28 years of my life doing this research.
Being fought every step.
Without any tax money.
I'm looking at right now. The audience is also looking at this search warrant, and I noticed something here. Interestingly enough, it's like it says United States District Court, Northern District of Oklahoma, and the search of your property, and then it notices that it says applicant's signature, Jeremy Bain, Special Agent FDA. His signature's not there.
Huh.
I'm looking at it.
Maybe that
actually,
was a draft.
The audience is looking at it too. I mean, did he sign the actual warrant, or is this just a copy?
Well, there had to be a draft or something. Because, yeah, that is strange because you would think it would have his signature before it actually got the judge's signature on it.
Well, I'm looking at it right now on air. I mean, I actually have it. I'm like myopic on it. I'm going on there. That's the only thing the people are seeing right now. Jeremy Bain, Special Agent, FDA. No signature.
There were so many lies that I didn't really even focus on that.
No. This might be your like golden light that the guy never signed the complaint, but they gave him a fucking warrant. Think about it. No, I'm serious. I mean, it might just be a PDF like of the document before it was signed, which is possible. But
then how does it have the judge's signature already then? How does it already have the judge's signature without his...
Hey, the judge's signature is right below it. Wait a minute. Are you guys looking at this? I don't know if you are, but...
Yeah,
the
judge's
signature. Looking at it. It's right there.
T. Lane Wilson.
It says it right there. Whoops, I just got jumped to the top because... Anyway, here it is. I'm back. All right. Let's Jeremy Bain, Special Agent FDA. We gave him some love the other day, and applicant's signature missing. Judge's signature. I mean, that's sort of odd to me. I mean, it might actually be a total illegal search and seizure. They'll have to give you back your money and all that other good stuff.
That is interesting. Yeah, it is.
I'm serious. You've got to look into this, guys, because I just happened to notice it by God's grace.
I've had this for less than actually less than half a day, because I'll tell you what, another little lie that she kind of covered up in the news broadcast, in the written version on the website. What are we talking
about when you say she?
We're talking about Lori Fulbright, the person who did...
Fulbright, the article I read today, yes.
Right, a.k.a. Gestapo Helga. She's done 3 articles. This is her third...
I like her.
Yeah, this is her third article against Dr. Carpenter, and she's done about one a year for the last 3 years. She did one when they filed the lawsuit. She did one when the trial happened last year, and now she's done this one. I know she's wearing this real... elegant dress on camera, too, rather than her white lab coat that they had her in when she did her original story. Put her in a white lab coat so she looks official, But anyway, when the in the written version that I first saw on their website, the KOTV website, she said that Dr. Carpenter did not return our request Tuesday, did not return our request for an interview when we emailed her Tuesday, and when actually the email was sent less than 3 hours before airtime on Wednesday. And then by the time she went before, I don't know how they, maybe that was a typo. Maybe it was meaningless and it was just a typo.
No, it wasn't. They covered it up.
But, yeah, she even said that she, you know, basically implying that Dr. Carpenter had a day and a half to reply, and she didn't. In reality, by the time she got the email, it was less than 2 hours to airtime. And, you know, she's not going to call that.
I checked my email late, so it was very close to airtime. But that's beside the point.
Yeah.
Significant.
Yeah, but the document, it's got all kinds of mentions of the term held for resale, mixed or shipped in, mixed,
well, give
and
me a
held
page
for
number,
resale.
and I'll listen. Give me a page number, and I'll refer to it because this is great. Right now, I'm showing the audience. It says the basis for the evidence for this search under the Federal R crime, page 41, is evidence of a crime, contraband, fruits of a crime, or other illegally possessed, property designed for use, intended for use, or used in committing a crime. That's what they stated. Then they go down to state, as we move down to the next page, or the bottom of the page, I should say, that
shows that he was a Secret Service agent.
Well, yes, it does show that he's a Secret Service agent, Jeremy Brand. So he didn't sign there. Did he sign anywhere else? That's what I'm looking for. This. I think that might be an interesting thing. What page are you on? What you're referring to, and I'll show the audience.
No, well, just I was bringing that up before I flipped the next page. I thought that was interesting that it said he was in United States Secret Service for 8 years, during which time I was responsible for investigating Title 18 violations associated with white-collar financial crime. You know, people like Bernie Madoff, you know.
Yeah, he was after those guys. Yeah, I know that. Hey, listen, what's interesting here is number 11 on page 5 says that a drug deemed to be misbranded if it was manufactured, prepared, compounded, or processed in an establishment in any state not duly registered under 21 U.S.C. Infinity 360. Every person upon first engaging in the manufacture, preparation, compounding, or processing of drugs in any establishment which that person owns or operates was required to immediately register his or her name, place of business, and all such establishments with the FDA. See 21 U.S.C. 360. Now, a drug is deemed to be misbranded if it was manufactured, prepared, or compounded or processed in an establishment in any state not duly registered. Now, the state was, of course, duly registered, and a drug is not a drug. So what are they talking about? What the fuck is this all about?
You can buy on the web, no restriction, you can buy saline because it's a wound, 0.9% is wound washed grade, and that's what we use. And food coloring is available in any grocery. All you have to do, put them together, make sure they are sterilized, and use it. Now, how is that a drug manufacturing? How does it become a drug? The definition, they give you a definition of drug if it is used to diagnose or treat or prevent a disease. But that is the use of a drug. It's not the definition of the drug. See, the FDA is playing games. First of all...
Okay, the answer to that question is on page 7. Just to show you how ridiculous...
Yeah.
I didn't mean to interrupt, but yeah, I heard you say that. If you look on page 7, about a little more than halfway down the page, it says... I'll preface it. A device...
I'm going to get there. Wait, hold on. 6, 7...
Page 7, go about halfway down.
Number 16, what's the number?
Well, it's page 7, overview of scheme, and it's entry number 22.
Entry number 22. Let me just get there and I'll show the people.
Okay.
We the people. Entry number 22.
Overview of scheme is the title.
Yes, I see it. I'm there. Let me just get it in the right spot. So they can see it and we can watch it. All right. I'm pretty much there. Okay, all right, here we go. Go ahead.
All right. It says Carpenter administers Oxy-M to individuals with cancer, either by topically applying it or injecting through a syringe into the cancerous tumor, and then uses a laser called the Laser Touch 1
to
heat the infected area Well, and that's really incidental to the statement I'm leading up to, but I wanted to have some lead into it. To heat the infected area to a temperature that she claims kills the cells in the tumor, a process Lase Med calls light-induced enhanced selective hyperthermia, or leash therapy. And here it goes. Because Oxy-M is intended to treat, cure, or mitigate cancer, it is a drug within the meaning of 21 U.S.C. Section 321 G1B.
What horse shit! My God!
Yeah, look at the
light is now a drug. Since when is light light-induced enhanced selective hypothermia? Because Oxy-M is intended to treat, cure, or mitigate, and so it's anything. It's anything.
Because this thermal catalyst.
In other words,
it's a thermal catalyst.
Wait a minute. I'm getting mad. I'm getting mad.
To treat cancer. Okay, the food coloring with saline does not treat cancer. It doesn't do anything. The light doesn't do anything. The combination of the two creates heat, and the heat kills tissue. If the stain could be retained in healthy tissue, will kill also healthy tissue, but it is not. That's why it's only affecting the cancer. That is not a drug reaction. That is not anything. Neither of the components are treating cancer. It's a combination of the two. They're producing a physical reaction. They produce hyperthermia. And hyperthermia is FDA approved. How you can reach hyperthermia is your own business.
Exactly.
As long as you don't
no, you see how they twist. No, that's how they twist your words. They said everything you were doing was not FDA approved. But your laser was FDA approved. That this is FDA approved. That they're lying. And if you research it and just not listen to what they say, and just be a sheep, you will know the truth.
It's just, this is a methodology. They actually trying to ask me, is leash therapy FDA approved? And I said, hey, FDA does not approve therapies. The therapy is a methodology. The FDA does not approve methodologies. It only approves drugs and equipment.
Well, it can't.
Sale.
Exactly. But Dr. Carpenter, that's why they have to make it a drug so that they can prosecute you, basically. So in this case, right? Yeah. So light-induced enhanced selective hypothermia, leash therapy, because Oxy-M is intended to treat. So in other words, if anything, if you eat an orange and we find that an orange can cure cancer hypothetically, right? That it becomes a drug. Like walnuts, they want to make walnuts a drug. Right. Do you understand, ladies and gentlemen, why I'm so angry?
Because Big Pharma and the AMA own the word cancer.
That's right. They literally own it. They patent it, and it's their property. You got it straight. You've got that shit straight. These motherfuckers own it. They own the goddamn thing like you own a website, like you own a domain name. You're smart enough to get pizza.com.
They own the person that it is on.
That's right. They own you anyway. Your goddamn birth certificate proves it.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't even go into that. That's a digression I won't get to. But yes, we are cattle. We are literally a property. We are stock to these scum.
They have to. In order to get this going, they had to claim it's a drug, and it isn't. And
it's not a drug.
Selling it. See, they had to claim that I was selling it, and that's why they took the computer data. Actually, the reality is to go and harass my former patients that are doing well. That's what they're doing, but they had to get that because they say, we're going to prove that she's selling. I'm not selling anything. I'm offering the treatment.
We got to get those IP addresses so that we can jam them on the air.
Right.
Well, that's what they did. Right. That's what they did, Randy. They took your hardware. Tell them what happened. So for those that are listening that might not be aware, what happened on September 11th? Excuse me, July 11th. 7/11. 7/11. Which, by the way, again, another Illuminati thing. I don't want to get into that, but it's a symbolistic number for them to take an action, right? Wouldn't you say? 7/11. What happened on 7/11?
Okay, we were waiting for a patient to show up, and that was a phony appointment. And then all these 8 people invaded my tiny place, and they said that there was FDA. I didn't see the badges the office manager did up front. I didn't. But anyway, they came and invaded the place, and with their excuse that they were FDA and it was a warrant. This is a judge said this. Oh, pooh, like I'm really going to get scared of that. And what did you tell them? Does it turn out I was correct? What did you tell the judge to get this done? And anyway, and they took everything, invaded the place, ransacked everything. They took all the files, even the ones that weren't there, they were in storage. They wanted all the files. And then they wanted, they took the equipment, they took all the vial of stain, they took everything. They took advertising material, which doesn't indicate in any way, shape, or form that we're selling anything other than offering a service.
Bumper stickers.
Oh, and get this. They didn't just take a bumper sticker of Lase Medding. They took bumper sticker of a radio show. What does that got to do with anything?
They don't like it.
No, because
logo.
They don't want the logo. But again, it's more evidence. They say, look, they have this. Look. Here's what it is. Again, we're getting into this fact that we're in a Stasi, Nazi republic, Nazi country, and it's becoming that way because they say, look at these people. They have a radio show talking about this evil stuff, and they can't talk about this. They can't talk about this. It's like I hate Jerry Falwell. Listen, I don't like pornography per se. You know what I'm trying to say? But I mean, I'm not gonna rally and sit to myself that somebody doesn't have a right if that's what they like to like it. It's the same thing with anything else. You have a right to go to Dr. Carpenter's treatments.
But I have the right to have a radio show and discuss
well, anything. You could discuss that you thought the man on the moon was God.
We have a freedom of speech in this country.
That's what. Excuse me. Right, exactly, Randy. That's my point I'm trying to make. You might not agree with it. Again, you might not agree with Larry Flint. All right, but he does have a right to do what he does, and I'll defend his right as much as I might not agree with it. Because
if you don't, you end up in an Ayatollah theocracy.
Yes,
like our government is waging war and committing genocide against as we speak. And we're no better than them if we end up like that. It's going to be in a Christian theocracy. That is not what Jesus was about. Exactly. Jesus was not in favor of religion. He was not a fan of religion.
No, in fact, religion is control, and we all know that. And again, Jesus was...
organized religion, yeah.
But whatever. You can get into that, but I'm sorry.
People have the right to know... People have the right to know that they do have an alternative. They can do something else. If they don't like the doctor, they want to be poisoned, they want to be mutilated, they want to be hit with radiation. That's their choice. But the problem is that the doctor are lying to them about what chemo, radiation, and surgery does. See, that's the problem. Those are the real crooks lying to people. And there are people that see that and are perfectly free to go and do something else. No, they can't because we say the government says so, or the medical mafia says so. No, it's their lives. They can do what they want. But if I am not around, there are no choices. People have no alternatives. Yes, there are some, and let me tell you, I know for a fact that an alternative practitioner in this area helped them. Okay? They must have promised her to leave her alone, even the garbage she peddles garbage people, but she must have had plenty complaint. But they promised her to leave her alone if she would help him with us. And I know because of phone calls that I received the week before we were raided. So
right.
I know that for a fact. I'm not naming names, but she's in this area. She's a quack.
The naturopath that gave you a call have you retired yet?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Right.
I didn't hear about this. Tell me about this.
Somebody called me, and I know who she is, and she is messing up people big time with the garbage she does. Okay? And she's actually breaking them up and spreading the tumor. It's awful.
Yeah, and nobody's bothering her.
No, but she came one time, pretended to want to work with me, and all she was doing is spying on our location, our older location in Broken Arrow. And then the week before the raid came, she called me and said, "Have you retired yet?" Because I was considering I have a patient that she wants to talk and find out, and she knows of at least 2 cases where the people were healed by my treatment. She knows it for a fact. And in order to stay, I'm a competition. I said, why are you staying in business? Because you have all this opposition. Because what I do, it works. And I'm trying to help people.
Exactly, and that's why I can't believe what they're doing to you. And you know something, that's my point. It goes back to freedom, ladies and gentlemen. ladies and gentlemen. Why does the government have to get involved? You make a choice. I mean, people they don't want chemotherapy. People are aware of the fact that it's poison. They're aware that radiation causes cancer. You know, I have to digress for 1 minute, and I want your comment on this.
Yeah.
A beautiful, beautiful, wonderful friend of mine. Very nice person that I've been working with since I've been at the company that I'm at. Has had cancer for 9 years. And what I mean, listen to this, and I spoke to her today about this, and she was, again, I told her what was happening to you, and she's totally behind you. Her name is Sandy, I'll say that much. Sandy,
okay.
This one's for you, Sandy, and I'll convey what you had mentioned. She had chemotherapy for stomach cancer. She had stomach cancer 4 times. Why did she have stomach cancer 4 times? Well, she had stomach cancer, and they cut a little bit out, and they gave her radiation and chemotherapy. Came back about 3 years later. Then she had more radiation, more chemotherapy, and it went away. And then there was a larger mass, and they had to cut it, and then she had more chemotherapy and radiation, and it went away. And so far she's okay. So far she's okay. But 3 times she's had cancer in 9 years. And they say it comes back. And she knows now she'll never take chemotherapy or radiation again.
But it doesn't go away. See, what happens is this, okay? They give you chemotherapy and radiation. That suppresses the immune system, okay? So then they do a PET scan to see if there is any cancer left, but the PET scan only look at inflammation. If you have a suppressed immune system caused by chemo and radiation, the PET scan will come out negative and say you have nothing because there is no inflammation. The immune system is shut. You cannot have any inflammation. How long does the immune system take to recover? Who knows? It depends on the person. It takes sometimes at least a year, but sometimes more. Then when the immune system recovers, then the cancer starts growing again, and then oops, it's come back, and it never left. See? Part of it, even if they remove some of it, part of it never left, but it's covered up by the chemo radiation. It's only covered up, is now resolved, it will eventually come back, and they keep torturing the person. Yes.
And she's been tortured, and that's true, and a lot of people have been through this. And then, you know, again, the aggressive chemotherapies, it's just torture. It kills you, yes.
And then back on page 7 of this.
Did you hear what Barbara was saying
about... Page 7? Keep going, Doctor. Go ahead. No, go ahead, Doctor.
Yeah, didn't you hear last Saturday where Barbara was saying about, she was really distraught about this lady in her church?
Yes.
That she knows she had cancer. Well, what happened? The pastor said that she went for another injection of chemo, and she had a bad reaction on the chemo, and she had not recovered, so she was sent to hospice care. You know what that means? She had a better reaction to chemo. It means she went in coma and not recovered. That means she was still in coma. And they sent her to, because chemo is a poison.
It's a poison. It kills you, and then they drip you on the morphine, and you die. I know. What was that on, Randy? On page 7. I'm there, man.
Well, I didn't mean to interrupt, but it just hit me here. And there was something on the next page that I was trying to get to, but because, like I said, I highlighted some things in this, and I'm picking around, but I'm trying to go in order. At the top of page 7, it says, the FDCA imposes felony punishment for conduct committed with an intent to defraud or mislead either consumers or government regulators. And that is one of the things.
Past overview of scheme. It's on 7.
That's at the very top of page 7, right above overview of scheme.
Okay.
The FDCA imposes felony punishment for conduct committed with an intent to defraud or mislead consumers or regulators. And
go ahead.
See, they're trying to build a case that you are intentionally defrauding and misleading, and that leads me to page 8. I don't know if your PDF, it's page by page, line for line, because I printed it straight from the PDF. If you go to page 8.
If I go to 75%, I can get... Oh, Randy, you guys there? Did I just lose you guys?
in Euclidean logic.
I lost you for a second, guys. Hold on. Let me get back.
Okay.
I was on the PDF here. Let me get back over here. And all right. For a minute, your Skype went away. All right. So then I hear overview of scheme, and then the FDCA imposes felony punishment for conduct committed intent to defraud or mislead. And then where are we saying?
Okay. Then I'm jumping from that point down page 7 to the top of page 8. Point number 24.
Carpenter is preying on patients and giving false hope.
And the point I'm trying to make here is all these other points, or most of them anyway, 22, 23, 21, go back. He is using a Euclidean logic, basically. Socrates, A, all men are mortal. B, Socrates is a man. Therefore, C, Socrates is therefore mortal. He's using a form of logic in all of these conclusions that he's drawing. And basically drawing a conclusion, and this is the reason, therefore, Oxy-M is a drug. You see,
right.
Whether it's bullshit or not, he's giving a reason. Then, point 24, with no proof, what are you basing this on? Carpenter is preying on patients and giving false hope to those who are seeking treatment options for their disease. In turn, she charges fees for the treatments that are not covered by insurance.
Of course not.
She utilizes interstate communication via email and telephone calls to induce with prospective clients to participate in her scheme.
Oh, wow. Her scheme.
Where is the logic there? Where is the steps of your Euclidean proof that you arrived at this point, number 24? That's what we want to know.
That's a very good point, and I'm showing it right now to the people. Yeah.
See, all these other things that he's bringing out and saying, he shows his twist of logic, at least, that arrived, at the point
that it's okay that. So then, in other words, people that he's making it's not covered by insurance. So I mean, technically, neither is breast augmentation covered by insurance. So
right.
So what does that have to do with it? A, and then the other thing is she charges fees. Well, after all, she's treating somebody. I mean, but they're she's working with these people to try to help them. So she's not supposed to be compensated.
Right.
Supposed to just do it for free.
Yeah, we just want to know where he came up with the conclusion. We want to know where the premises are for this conclusion of Carpenter is preying on patients and giving false hope to those who are seeking treatments, especially the use of the term false hope.
Did you
because
give false
I have
hope
been
to the
following
people that
this for 3 years, and the word false hope has just repeated like Sieg Heil, Sieg Heil, false hope. It started 3 years ago with Lori Fulbright and Will Bond in fucking Little Rock, Arkansas, and it has not stopped. They keep saying it, false hope, false hope, false hope, over and over and over.
And I have shown in the video that the person that brought the lawsuit, the Westfall creature, and the false hope thing, and her records show that she was fine. They could not find any cancer. Even the PET scan, the MRI, the ultrasound, the CT scan, they couldn't find anything. But then they said, oh, but the mammogram showed that there was something. Well, of course she had that tissue there, but the mammogram doesn't tell you anything. The mammogram cannot tell you if it's cancer or not. It cannot tell you anything. So the records show that she had nothing. There's no reason whatsoever. She had nothing? Okay, so how is false hope? And the people that call Lori Fulbright to say, hey, what is your article? We are doing great. 5 people called, one of which was an MD. She's even sent a letter. And she never did anything about it. She never called them back. She never interviewed them. Only interviewed the crooks. They were lying about it. So, but that is false hope, right? The people that are living their life well with the free of cancer, and they are. Because there are people that have follow what I said, and they're doing fine. They are posted on the petition. Did you read that guy that said,
that's right. Go to the petition at medicalconspiracy.com and sign the petition, please, everybody.
Sign it because the number scares them. That's why they're doing all of this. They're scaring the petition.
What did you say? Tell them again what you told me. Is it when you were on the phone and the agents were standing around you and you were talking? I forget who you were talking to.
Oh,
yeah. You said also don't forget change.org. And when you said change.org, what happened?
One of them jumped. The one that was in the room heard me jump. You can see that it was startled. You know, like they stiffen up.
Yeah.
Like a jumping to stiff up because they know what that. So it scares them. So sign it and look at the testimonials that people gave.
Soldier.
People gave many testimonials. That's the point. We have to get more of them. And I want, as soon as you can, anyone you can, guys, that you can get on record to go on record that were treated by you. You've got a forum for them right here. Because I know they're afraid. I know they're afraid, and I know why. And I know why because we have been, our government is criminal. It's in bed with, it goes back so many years, ladies and gentlemen. The connection between government and these corporations, especially Big Pharma now. Oh my God, it is so thick.
There are a good number of cases. The patient was okay. They were feeling great, including the Cindy Panteka case. Okay, Cindy, my friend Cindy, and she killed her with a bad advice. She sent her for chemo, aggressive chemo, and she died. And then it's my fault. And that happened to other patients. Rather than having evidence of good results, they want to wipe out that evidence, and so they rather kill the patient. They don't care. They don't care. They rather kill the patient than have proof that this method works. And that's what I'm trying to get the word across. That's why I try to cover and protect my patient. Of course, now they got the patient's names, address, and phone number, contact. So I'm hoping that the ones that are doing well are not going to get scared, are not going to pay any attention to what is said, because I know they kill a few that way, scaring them into going for chemo and then got killed. Because they don't want evidence. They don't want evidence of what happened. I know some cases that has happened, okay? And more than I like to see. I don't like to see any of them, but I know that happens. I mean, you could have breast cancer. You have pain in your toe. They will tell you it's cancer metastasis from your breast cancer. I'm telling you, anything is metastasis from your breast cancer because you were treated at Lase meeting. Like dead tissue could metastasize. And let me tell you something.
Well, that's the fact, though. Dead tissue cannot metastasize, and that's what you've been doing, Doctor.
Absolutely.
Dead tissue cannot metastasize.
And
yeah, but it does with surgery. It does with chemo. Actually, it's not even metastasis with chemo. With surgery, yes, because it's spread through the bloodstream. But with chemo, you get additional cancer like kidney or liver cancer caused by chemo. And radiation, of course, causes cancer. Bone cancer, lung cancer, depending on where the radiation is used. Because radiation, we all know, that causes cancer. That's why people were terrified about the Fukushima case.
Well, then the EPA just raised the acceptable levels because they were going up. So they just said, well, it's okay now. We're just going to raise the acceptable levels. And all the sheeple just said, oh, yeah, it's okay. And they went back to their iPods and their little,
They're crazy. And apparently they've been, because the background radiation has been increasing for years.
Oh, my God, it's disgusting.
Years now. And they have been, and they keep
even
increasing
more cancer.
And they keep increasing the danger levels. No, you're okay now. You're below the... And people believe that. Please, wake up. How could doing surgery, chopping off pieces of your body could be good for you? How could it resolve the cancer? But people think, I don't see the tumor anymore, so I'm okay. Well, it doesn't matter that you don't see it. It's spreading now.
And there's that video on YouTube of the guy, and I think it's called something like Uncle Bob's Eye. It's a family video, that somebody made at a birthday party. This elderly man is having a birthday party, right? And he just happens to be a victim of a cancer surgery. And what does he do on the video camera? He takes his eye patch off and puts his... It's gross, but he's making a joke out of it because he's got this cavity in his face where his eye is gone, and he also has a cavity in his face where his nose was or something. Takes a prosthetic nose off and his eye patch and puts his finger in his eye socket so he can wiggle it out the other end. And the kids are laughing because they think it's funny. Oh, yeah, Uncle Bob, he's real funny. Yeah, got mangled.
Yeah. And you know what? I'm telling you, because I've seen it in a lot of other cases, that you have cancer on your eyelid or below your eye, the lower eyelid or something. They remove everything, including your eye. Remove everything, because you're saving your life that way. And no, I cannot do it. I cannot save him.
But I wanted to get one thing. Like go to the next page. If you go to page 9 of this PDF, and it's Dr. C. I didn't actually have a chance to mention it to you. But I have it jotted on the page here. They're talking about an undercover conversation that they had. And then they talk about an undercover email that they sent from an undercover email address, and they're basically stating what was said in the conversation and what was said in the email. And at one point in this undercover email, they requested an info packet, okay, the LaseMed info packet. And the only reason that I bring this up, and if you show this on your screen, it might not zing with anybody that's listening, because the only reason it zinged with me is because I know one thing was omitted when they were describing the info packet that they got, and they said that the packet contained the following inserts. An insert describing leash therapy, an acronym for light-induced selective, fully FDA approved. It is improved by eliminating the use of drugs and using...
No, I didn't say photodynamic therapy. I said photodynamic therapy is FDA approved.
It says, additionally, it stated, it is essentially photodynamic therapy, which is FDA approved, only improved by eliminating the use of drugs and utilizing a proprietary patented delivery mechanism. And it lists another sheet stated, we at LaseMed have been successfully treating patients since the inset of the millennium. I've seen that one. Item C is a pamphlet describing leash therapy, claimed that it kills cancer without personal suffering, mutilation, or poisoning of your immune system. We destroy tumors without cutting, bleeding, drugs, damaging radiation. Pamphlet contained pictures of purported diseased tissue being injected and Carpenter appearing to treat a patient with the laser. And then D, an insert entitled Payment Requirements, Acceptable Forms of Payment. Okay, the thing that I'm noticing here, there's one important thing that's in every info packet, and has been as long as I've known you, Dr. Carpenter, that they didn't include in this. And you know what it is.
Yeah.
It's the copycat articles.
Right.
It's the articles about the research program that started at Stanford and at Rice University, that Dr. Carpenter's patent predates every one of them. They did not include that in this paper because I guess they figured it wouldn't be a good idea.
Yep. And every info packet contained that, with the writing, the comments about Stanford, that this will be, one day will be possible, in the paper written at Stanford, one day will be possible to treat cancer, inject directly into the breast, not doing anything, and just illuminate with the light and treat and kill the cancer in place. One day will be possible, and we have been doing it for a while. And they did not mention at all that, because they don't want that discussed. And what the medical school in Little Rock has been doing, copying us from left to right and getting millions. And I struggled for years, and now I am just a mess because I was taking payment for my treatment. No, millions of grant for doing nothing and trying to copy me. No.
But see, all of the detail, everything in such detail, meticulous detail, but they failed to mention that part of the info packet.
And that was the folder had two sides, and they were just as big. The side with the copycat as big as the other side with that other information. So that is intentional. Yeah. Anyway, the dishonesty comes through in every step. And then keep going about selling, selling, distributing, and equipment, adulterated equipment, selling, distributing. And there is none of that. It's just a treatment. And I'm the one offering the treatment. No one else is. Nothing gets sold, and nothing is interstate commerce. It's just people preference.
And here's another point.
People's choice. No, you hit that right on the head there. That's right.
Yeah.
Another point they're trying to gig you on page 13, talking about this undercover conversation, but about the fictitious Mary Hart patient.
Yeah.
It says in point 33, it's part A, there's a part B. Well, part C of point 33, entry 33 says, while describing the treatment process, Carpenter mentioned that if the patient was suffering from any discomfort, she would provide lidocaine. Now, lidocaine is one of the things that they confiscated because it was sealed vials for, syringe use that were in the office.
When we had a doctor, and says, "Hey, doctor, all I use is the gel," and they didn't. Yeah,
because that's one of the things that I've heard for 2 years that the injection, and the fact that when she didn't have either an MD or an LPN. At one point, you just started using gel, though, is what I'm saying.
Well, lidocaine, it was after I didn't have a doctor anymore there. I used the gel. But then when this is not in that write-up, but when the agents were there, they were saying, well, you're spreading cancer by injecting a tumor. And I showed them that we use an insulin syringe, and I said, how the heck you're going to spread anything with that?
But see, you have to be an MD. You have to have a license to use a syringe, unless you're a diabetic patient. They inject themselves.
No, you don't. That's not what they said. What they said was that you spread cancer that way when you inject the tumor that way. Really? And I said, well, what about the biopsy that uses an enormous? I call it the Canon. So they changed the story, and they didn't answer that, and they changed it. Yeah, but you're injecting something in it, so you're blowing it up. Like if it were a balloon that you fill with water. I said, the tumor is not a balloon. And you just put a little bit. It's not blowing up anything. And then they just had to shut up because they were trying to get all these arguments saying what you're doing is spread the cancer. How the heck is it going to spread it? It's an insulin needle, and then I immediately use the laser. I can't spread anything. But the biopsy does.
Well, again, it's the medical mafia. They're eugenicists. They are intent on killing people, not helping them, Dr. Carpenter. So that's another big reason why. And people don't understand that. That's a lot of people. It's going to be hard for you to wrap your brains around that. But it is true that this is a eugenics program, especially when you reach a certain age or a certain, they'll milk your money out of you, and it's just disgusting. I'm trying
to stop all of that. That's why they have to attack me.
Of course, exactly, because what we want to do is end suffering and have people to understand that they're being killed and poisoned by eugenicists. I mean, they're on record. It's the Rockefeller Foundation turned down your research and then tried to steal it. So, I mean, it's just like, that's just fact. Obviously, no. We're going to give you a little tiny bit of money that you would refuse through their minions, which is absolutely atypical of Rockefeller. And then, as soon as you get things rolling, they try to steal your technology and then discredit you. And then, of course, ultimately steal the actual device.
Yeah. So you know where he's going to end up. You don't know where he's going to end up.
I don't know, but I mean, it is your property.
UAMS.
Probably because that's where they wanted it to go. But again, they're doing this research here at Yale. It was in the newspaper yesterday, utilizing lasers and this nano gel that they can patent. So I would keep your eye on that.
And they can make $10,000 an ounce.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
And it is the same thing. You know why it's called nano? Because the wavelength of the light is in a nanometer range. In order to allow it to be absorbed by a compound, it has to have a molecule, also a fraction of the wavelength, so still in a nanometer range. So they cover all of that to appear very important by saying a nanotechnology. But all it is a molecule that has the size of a nanometer.
very good example, because today I was showing such a great example with this film today that I was showing about the self, and it totally exampled that, the fact that they just promulgate this like image, you know, it's propaganda, and now nano, it sounds great, you know, oh wow, it's all, you know, it's a sharp sounding thing, it's Madison Avenue, and wow, it's great, and they're going to cure cancer, and it's awesome. Oh, it's sickening. It really is sickening, guys. Well, listen, I want to thank you, Randy and Dr. Carpenter, for joining me tonight, covertly as we did. Looks like we kept the trolls away. Hopefully I got one solid stream. Well, they were here, but they went away because they thought I was showing a movie. So we'll try
Have I got time to do the conclusion paragraph?
Yeah, you know what happened, though? Unfortunately, my... I guess because of my CPU usage, I'm not able to show the that screen. That screen was on there with your PDF. Froze.
Oh, that's fine.
But yeah, please, by all means, read anything you'd like, and then we'll.
Well,
you know,
I was trying to tie it. Okay, I was trying to tie it up and goes, but because I still didn't cover everything, but I skipped through it to the end. Yeah, there's a few pages talking about the reasons that they wanted to, you know, extract all the computer data, and they all go back to, they will show trails of the crime, evidences of the crime, and things like that, elements of the crime, elements of things that were used to commit the crime, everything going back to crime, you see.
By selling.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, the conclusion paragraph. Based on the foregoing, there is probable cause to believe that Lase Med and owner-operator Antonella Carpenter and her employees are violating 18 U.S.C. Section 1343 by knowingly devising a scheme to defraud and obtain money from individuals with cancer by means of fraudulent false pretenses, representations, or promises that were material, and were using interstate wire communication for the purpose of executing such scheme. 2. Violating 21 U.S.C. Section 331K by causing a drug to be misbranded within the meaning of 21 U.S.C. and a device to be adulterated within the meaning of 21 U.S.C. while the drug and devices were held for sale after shipment in interstate commerce. And three, violating 21 U.S.C. 331 by failing to register manufacturing establishment as required. Additionally, there is probable cause to believe that inside the business I will find all of the items set forth in Attachment B. I further submit that those items constitute evidence of the commission of criminal offenses, the fruits and instrumentalities of crimes, things otherwise criminally possessed, and property designed or intended for use, which is or has been used as the means of committing criminal offenses described above. Wow. So the whole thing, was to commit this criminal offensive scam.
Hey, owner-operator, what am I, a truck driver?
I'm just saying, it's...
That's a stupid phrase, an owner-operator? What am I, a truck driver? Oh, come on, that's the name for a truck driver that owns his own truck. I mean, it's ridiculous. Anyway, okay, thanks.
This is vicious. I'm sorry for taking up all the time.
Yeah.
No, that's
okay. Thank you for having us and explain all this outrageous thing. And please sign the petition, because that's the only thing we get to fight the system.
That's right. Go to medicalconspiracy.com. That's right, everybody. Medicalconspiracy.com.
And thank you, Howard. I appreciate your having us on as many times as you have to follow up on this, because it just doesn't seem to end. It just keeps going.
It keeps going, and we keep getting attacked the more that I put you on. So I'm like, you know, that's like, you know, like you got to, like, people outside, they don't realize, well, maybe now they start doing it. Wow, why does this keep happening to these people? Maybe they'll understand what's really going on. I'm hoping, because after all, we the people must rise against the tyranny. God bless you guys, and I'll see you soon, or speak with you soon. Take care.
God bless you, brother. Thanks.
Bye.
Good night.
Good night.